In August 1941, the National Fire Service was formed to put firefighting on a national basis. This arrangement enabled every firefighting unit in England and Wales to be brought under one control and made possible a countrywide mobilizing scheme embracing the several thousand appliances available. For all civil defense purposes, the country is divided into regions. There are 12 of these. Scotland is number 11. In each region, there's a regional fire control, here marked R. The region is divided into fire forces, each with a fire force control. The fire forces are divided into divisions with divisional controls. In large cities with a number of divisions, one control becomes the chief divisional control. The divisions in turn comprise a number of subdivisions. Each subdivision controls a varying number of stations. Thus, the whole country is closely linked through its different controls: station, subdivision, division, fire force, region, and finally the Home Office Fire Control Room in London. When you look at the whole country like this, it appears complicated, but it's based on a simple chain of control. First there's the station, then the subdivision controlling several stations. Next comes the division, controlling several subdivisions with their stations. Above that is the fire force, controlling several divisions, and itself coming under the regional fire control, together with other fire forces in the region. At the top of the chain comes the Home Office Fire Control Room, directing every region in the country. Through this chain of control, every NFS appliance can be mobilized to deal with an emergency no matter where it may arise. Now this is the boundary line of an imaginary region. We'll call it 15, with 3 fire forces. And here are its other controls and stations. There's been a serious raid in this region in 2 places, both in 49 fire force. A serious fire situation has developed, and all nearby pumps have been called out. Those from neighboring stations in other subdivisions are also in attendance, and other divisions are sending pumps in, both to the fires and to stand by in case they're required. Help is coming in from an adjoining fire force to build up the strength of the depleted stations. Let's go back to the beginning and follow this mobilization through step by step from the first fire calls.
There's a fire at Jones's warehouse.
Jones's warehouse, what address?
11 Ferry Lane.
11 Ferry Lane?
Off the High Street.
Off High Street, right.
Right.
Send Y3.
Where's the job?
Y Street is Jones's warehouse, Ferry Lane.
Jones's warehouse, Ferry Lane, right.
And so the first attendance to Ferry Lane is ordered from Y Station. The station reports every movement to the control above, the subdivision.
From Y Station, fire at 11 Ferry Lane, off High Street. Major pump sent.
Fire at 11 Ferry Lane, off High Street. Major pump sent.
Correct.
Control room work at a normal station can be handled under air raid conditions by 2 firewomen. One deals with all messages and keeps the occurrence book. The other acts as mobilizing officer, sending out appliances and keeping the board up to date. Each fire must be shown on the board with a tally recording the attendance. Y Station is now attending 2 other fires as well as the job at Ferry Lane, and pumps 1, 2 and 3 are out. This looks like being a busy night, and the attendances will soon have to be increased.
Message from Jones's warehouse. They want the pumps made up to 5 and a turntable ladder.
Number 4 has gone out in the meantime, so the station is left with only one pump.
10-5, all subdivisions for 3 more pumps and TL. Right.
Y station orders on its remaining pump and passes the message up to the subdivision.
From Y station. 5 pump fire at 11 Furry Lane, off High Street. 3 pumps.
Station to subdivision. The subdivisional staff consists on an average of 4 telephonists, in addition to the mobilizing officer, an assistant, and a board operator.
1 major pump from X to a fire at Stillwell Street.
The subdivisional mobilizing board shows the disposition of appliances at each station. There are 6 stations shown here in subdivision 2, with a total of 8 pumps still available. "21 fires, practically all one-pump fires, are being attended. If necessary, the subdivisional mobilizing officer can order appliances from any station in the subdivision to the help of any other station.
Message from Y.
11 Ferry Lane, now 5 pump fire. 3 major pumps and TL required.
From its other stations, the subdivision is able to supply the other 3 pumps and turntable ladder for Ferry Lane.
Send 2 major pumps from U, 1 major pump from X, and TL from Z.
The board is immediately adjusted, and the orders are written out for transmission to the stations concerned.
Secondary control been informed?
They're being informed now.
Right.
On and above the subdivisional level, there is a secondary control for every control, keeping a board identical with the primary control.
And turntable ladder from Z to fire at 11 Ferry Lane.
Secondary control can immediately take over mobilizing if the primary control is put out of action.
Pumps from X and TL from Z.
As well as reporting them to secondary control, all movements are reported to the divisional control.
We'll send a situation report to the division.
Right.
Attending 21 fires, 5 pump fire at Ferry Lane, 1 TL sent. Pumps available, 4 major.
Subdivision to division.
83 attending 6 fires. A4, message from the fire at Market Hill, water unit required.
A3's water unit.
A2 attending 21 fires, 5 pump fire with TL at Ferry Lane.
The Divisional Mobilizing Board summarizes the appliances available in each subdivision and gives the totals for the division. This is Division A, with 4 subdivisions. The chalk figures show a total of 58 pumps available in the division. The board has a section for each subdivision, showing the number of fires being attended and the address of fires with an attendance of 5 pumps or more, in addition to fires at vital points. Ferry Lane has just been put up as a 5-pump fire, and the situation tallies with the subdivisional board, recording a total of 21 fires. Subdivision 1, on the left, is attending 7 fires. Subdivision 3, 6 fires, and Subdivision 4, 16 fires, including 2 5-pump fires requiring special appliances. According to the Divisional Board, the situation is serious, particularly in Subdivisions 2 and 4, and shows every sign of getting worse. Divisional control should be housed in 2 rooms where possible. This isolates the mobilizing staff from the noise of the telephones. The telephonists are in a separate room with the message supervisor. The divisional mobilizing officer has 2 assistants. One receives all incoming messages, passing on to the mobilizing officer those requiring his attention.
1,000 feet of hose required.
Stores officer.
The second assistant controls all outgoing messages. There's also a board operator. The divisional mobilizing officer has control of all pumps and special appliances in the division, and he must move these in to reinforce the heavily rated subdivisions.
A2, fire at 11 Ferry Lane, now 20 pump fire. 5 pumps and 1 TL sent, 15 pumps and ET required.
Right, send 10 pumps from A1, 5 pumps and ET from A3.
Instead of 125, there are only 40 pumps still available in the division. This move will reduce them still further. As soon as the number of pumps drops below, say, 50%, the mobilizing officer must ask for reinforcements. Here, he's let his number fall rather low.
Ask Fire Force Control for 50 pumps to report to the reinforcement base, Oliver Road.
Division to Fire Force.
A Division got 56 fires.
That's Borotown.
Yes. They have a 20-pump job at Ferry Lane and they want 50 reinforcing pumps.
At Oliver Road reinforcement base?
Yes. Send them 20 from B, 20 from C, and 10 from D.
20 from B, 20 from C, and 10 from D.
Right.
And so more pumps are called in to reinforce the heavily raided areas. From 49 Fire Force, the message has gone to the other divisions and down their chain of control to the stations. From rural stations and from small towns, pumps turn out, singly and in groups. Officers are also called in as reinforcements. The appliances report to the reinforcement base of the town to which they've been ordered. Pumps at a reinforcement base are handled by the senior control in the town, which in this case is Division A. The 50 appliances at the base are shown by the square tallies on the board.
Send 20 reinforcement pumps to A2 and 10 to A4.
The divisional mobilizing officer allocates these pumps to the affected subdivisions, who in turn will disperse them to stations or send them direct to fires. This order is sent to the reinforcement base, and the appliances are redirected to their destinations. On the Fire Force mobilizing board, the totals of pumps available in each division must be adjusted to include the reinforcing pumps. There's now a total of 66 pumps available in 49 Fire Force. A survey of the position shows that Division A is fighting 83 fires. Division B has no... There's 1 fire in Division C and 53 fires in Division D. These figures change continually as messages come in from the divisions.
A division. 1,000 feet of 2.5 rubber line. Send that to area stores.
Area stores.
Like the division, the Fire Force control should, if possible, have a separate message room.
Yes. Yes. Would you repeat that, please? Yes. Messenger? Up to things that can be different on
Incoming and outgoing messages are checked by the message supervisor.
Mobilizing officer.
The Fire Force control must be prepared at all times to meet calls for assistance from the divisions. And the mobilizing officer must try to anticipate requirements. The mobilizing board confirms that the situation is getting more serious. There are now only 53 pumps available, and all the reinforcing pumps have been absorbed.
He's got to that last batch pretty quickly.
Geez, getting low again, too.
Get onto region and ask for 50 reinforcing pumps.
Fire Force to region. The regional fire control has a broad picture of the general situation and is dealing in large numbers of pumps. The mobilizing officer, therefore, has the opportunity to anticipate developments and to send reinforcements where they are needed. To enable demands from fire forces to be promptly met, calls for assistance should be made in good time, bearing in mind the distances the reinforcements may have to travel.
Due to USB stop. Diversion across roads by Jimmy Hill to High Street. 498. End of message, time of origin, and awaiting order. Major 20. End of message, time of origin, 0205.
In this case, a request for assistance from 49 Fire Force has come in before the regional mobilizing officer has taken any action.
From 49 Fire Force.
They want 50 pumps.
The board shows 51 fire forces having the largest number of pumps available.
We'll send them in from 51. We take a message to 51 Fire Force. Send 50 pumps to Fire Force 49 reinforcement bases, 20 to A Division, 10 to B Division, 10 to C Division, 10 to D Division. Stop. Column officer to report to A Division reinforcement base. End of message.
Here, once again, is the situation in number 15 region. So far, we've seen the whole network of mobilizing in action, up to the point where regional control sends pumps in from 51 Fire Force to stand by in 49. But now the situation becomes still worse, and more reinforcements will have to be brought into the region. Appliances are sent from one region into another on instructions from the Home Office Fire Control Room. The Fire Control Room has no mobilizing board. The whole situation is represented on this map by tallies in different combinations. The large square tallies show the number of major appliances manned and available in each fire force. The smaller colored tallies of different shapes show movements of pumps between the regions. Here is the final situation, with reinforcements coming in from adjoining regions. Had the fires been close to the boundary, pumps would have been called in from other regions at a much earlier stage. It's always the principle to dispatch first those pumps which will arrive soonest, irrespective of boundaries. This is the general picture of the mobilizing scheme as it operates throughout the country. Every station is vital to it, and success depends on the individual efficiency of every man and woman in the control rooms. Good mobilizing procedure and drill are essential if a heavy incendiary attack is to be successfully fought.